Hello guys, and welcome in the third episode. In the last episode we have created a project for our game as well as the prefab for the country flag and added three prefabs to our scene. Today we will start to work with the graphics. You can find the link in the description to download all of the game asset. So go ahead and just download it. Once you done it, we go to open your project, click on the resource folder, right click in the empty space and show in the Explorer. So you can see we are in our project. So go to the resource folder and paste the script.zip inside this folder, and then right click on it and then extract all. Okay, extract. So you should have all of the graphics in, right? Once you've done it, you can delete the sprites.zip and you can delete this meta file as well, because this file is generated by Unity. So we don't need it anymore. We have our sprites already in. Okay, I think there are too many sprites folder. So what we want to do, just go inside the sprite, cut these sprites from there and paste it one directory above. Okay, so now when we get inside, we have our buttons, our background, flags, game icon, and then the cycles. Everything is in. Okay, so go back to the Unity, and Unity will start importing all of the graphics. Once it's done, you can see all of the sprites inside the Unity. So we have all of the graphics ready for us to use. Okay, as well as all of the flags for the countries, game icon, and the items which are used in the game. Okay, before we start to applying these graphics, we need to actually fix one bug from the previous episode. So currently, when you press play inside our game scene, all of the three flags just following down because the gravity force is not disabled. So to disable the gravity for this prefab, just stop the project and then go to the prefab folder, click on the country flag prefab, scroll down to rigid body 2D component, and in the gravity scale, currently the gravity scale is set to 1, just change it to 0. Okay, so now when you press play, all of the three cycles should stay in the same position. Okay, so that's fine. So before we start to work with these graphics, we actually need to have a data structure to hold the sprite for the specific country as well as the continent. As we will have the 3 games mode, we need to create some kind of a data structure class, and based on the game mode, we're gonna switch between those directories from which we wanna take the flag for the country. So first of all, to do that, we actually need to create another scene. So go inside the scenes folder, right click, create a new scene, and I will name it like main menu. Okay, open the main menu scene, right? First of all, in our main menu scene, we want to set the same background color as is in the game scene. So go ahead, I will just open the game scene, click on the main camera, and then the background, I will just copy this value, the hexadecimal value, and then open the main menu scene, open the main camera, and then paste this value in here. So we will have the same color on every single scene. Okay, so first thing we will do is add the play button, because obviously we wanna somehow start the game. So go ahead in our hierarchy and right click to the object, UI object, and the button. I will name this button play. Okay, and then I will position this button somewhere on the top, maybe here. So we can as well apply straight away the graphics for the play button. So in our sprites, under the buttons, there is a main menu, and we can just put this play graphics, like drag and drop on the inside the image component. So we will have the graphics in. So I will change this. I will change the width and the height for this graphic to be 100 and 100. Okay, and we need to remove this writing from the button. So just go to the play button and then delete this object text. Okay, so we have our play button in. Okay, so now we will need some kind of a script to actually control this play button behavior. So go ahead and create this new script. So open the script folder, and then inside this folder, right click, create, and then select C# script. And then I will just type menu button. Okay, this button should be open straight away in our Visual Studio. So I'll just minimize it for now, and then open the camera, main camera. Just click on the main camera, and then drag and drop this menu button onto the main camera. Okay, and then go back to the play button, and from the button script, we have the on-click event. So just click this small plus here, and then we need to select the runtime object. So drag and drop the main camera on it, and then we don't have any functions yet for this. As you can see, there are just standard functions which are available for the menu button script. So we need to create the separate function. So go back to the Visual Studio and then open the menu button script. Okay, and then inside this script, I will create another function which will be void. So will be public void load scene. Okay, and then inside the parameters we will pass the string. Scene name. Okay, and then inside the function we will just call the scene manager. But as you see, this object is not recognized because this is because we need to include the scene management from the Unity. So right at the top, just type using Unity engine dot scene management. Okay, so now the object is recognized. So go back to the function, press dot, and then we need to call the load scene, and we're gonna pass this scene name. Okay, so let's save the script now, and then go back to the Unity. So go back to the play button, and then from this on click from this list, just select this no function, and then go to the menu button, and then we can choose the load scene function, and we need to pass the scene name. So to not make any mistake, like open the scene folder, and on the press we want to actually load the game scene. So I will just copy the name from here to make sure I'm not making any spelling mistake, and then pass this name as a parameter. Okay, so we can just test quickly if it's working. So press play, and then when we click on this one, as you see, we have an error because we didn't add this main menu to our buildings. So just stop the project, and to fix it, just go to the file, build settings, and then in the build settings we have a list of the scene which are included in the build. So just go ahead and click Add Open Scenes, and you see we have a main menu and a game scene. So every scene you add to the project, make sure you add to this list as well. So we can close this one now and then press play again. Okay, press play, and as you see the scene is loading fine, so that's okay. So now let's go ahead and create another object which will hold the data for our game. So right click, create empty, and I will call this game object global game data object. Okay, and then we need another script for this object. So click on the scripts folder, right click inside this folder, create C# script, and then I will call this script game data. Okay, so let's go ahead and apply this script onto our game data object. Just drag and drop. Right, go back to the Visual Studio and open the script, the game data script. Right, so this script will be responsible for holding the structure of our data. So what we will need? We need to actually define the structure for our game. First of all, let's create the structure. So public struct. I will name the struct country data. Country data, and we will need a few fields inside this structure. So public name, public string name. This is going to be name of our country. Public sprite flag. This is going to be sprite for our country, so the flag. Public bool guest. So this boolean variable will be set whenever the country has been request, right? And then another variable, public bool in question it. So this variable will be set to true whenever in the certain game the certain flag has been questioned. So we already ask for that flag, so we not end up in the situation like we keep asking about the same flag over and over again. So you see usage of this variable just like in the later episodes. So just for now, we need this data structure to actually be in. And then in order to display this data structure inside the Unity, we need to add the system serialization. So right at the top of this structure, just open the square bracket and then type system dot serializable, right? And then save it. So now we need to create a few arrays for our game. So first array will be public. So it's going to be country data, that's going to be array, and then the European country data set. So this is going to be for the European country. We can duplicate this bit a few times, and then another continent would be Asia, then Africa, then North America, South America, then Oceania, we need another 2. Oh, the one now which we need is gonna be country set per game. So this array will hold the country which has been selected for the certain game. So in case we're gonna play only with the 13 country, I will have like more than 50 countries in one continent. We're gonna select that random 15 countries and we're gonna ask the player about them. And then country data set. Country data set, okay? And then of course we need this class to be static, so it's going to be available for every single scene in our game, so we can request the data from it. So it's going to be public static, and then we need to name of this class. Just make sure you not make any spelling mistake, and we're going to get the instance. So we need to add another function which gonna be void awake, right? And then on awake, if instance is equal to null, then we wanna don't destroy and load this, right? Instance is equal this, and then that's it for now. And then otherwise destroy this. So what this code is doing is at the first time when this class is created, the instance is set to null. So we don't want the first instance of this object, so from our main menu, to be destroyed, so we preventing it from destroyed, and then we assign this instance to be pointing to this instance of the class. So in any other scene, if this for any reason this class is created again, we want to just destroy it, because this instance will be already assigned from the main menu. So in that case we need to make sure we always starting our games from the main menu, otherwise we will not have the data set. So we'll see in a moment how this one's gonna work. So the thing is, like, we have created this data structure for the country flags. Now we need to actually add all of the graphics and the names for the country inside our data structure. So go back to the Unity and then clicked on the global game data object. And as you can see, we have like lists of all of the countries, all of the continents. So get this European country data set, and I will set this for the Europe. I will set the size to be 51. 51, okay. So we need to fill this one up. For the Asia, the size is 50. Right, for the Africa, the size is 54. Okay. For the North America, the size is 29. For South America, the size is 13. For the Oceania, the size is 27. Set country per game, the size will be 0. And then country data set, the size will be 0 as well. Actually, what we can do, we can go back to the script. And then above the country per game, set per game, we can add this hide inspector, and then we can do the same for the country data set. Okay, so let's save it and go back to the Unity, so you won't see them here. So basically this size of this array is based on how many flags we have available for the certain continent. So for the European, if you go to the flags and then click on the Europe, we have a 51 flags in. So what we have to do now is a little bit tedious work, but this have to be done just once. So we will need to actually this name from the sprite to be match the sprite image. So I'll give you the example, like for the European, the first element, we want to get this Albania. So we want to get this Albania, put the Albania in this name, and then drag and drop the Albania sprite on it. Okay? And we have to do the same for every single flag. So for the element 2, we need Andorra. So I will put Andorra and then drag and drop the sprite. So the one thing is to look at is make sure you don't make any spelling mistake in the country name, because if you do, the game will not be able to find the proper sprite for it, because we will use this name later to actually load the correct sprite for the specific country. So take your time and then complete all of this data structure for every single continent. So for the Europe, for the Asia, North America, Oceania and South America. And I will do the same. So I will just cut this video here, and then I'll be back once I'm done. Okay, so I have completed, I have assigned all of the flags to my countries. So as you can see, I have completed every single flag for every single country. So the way I did it was I was just copying the name of the flag of the country and then drag and drop the flag, as you can see. So in that case I didn't make any spelling mistake, especially for the long names like this one. It took me about half an hour to actually done all of the continents. I know it's a little bit tedious work, but once you've done it, you will not have to do it again. There was actually one mistake with the size. So for the Asia continent country, the size is 51. So if you change the size here, while you assigned all of the flags, you can, like, let's say I want to have a 53. If you press enter, it's gonna be like added another 2 countries, the same as the last one, right? So the Yemen, in that case. If you decrease the size, you shouldn't lose your data at all. Okay, so I think we coming close to the 20 minutes of this episode, so I think that's gonna be enough for this episode. In the next episode, we actually use this data structure which we have created, and we're gonna actually pick the random flag, random flag, and then random position for that flag, and then we will pick random two another flags, and then make it actually apply on our prefabs in the game scene. So they will be displayed here. And then next we're gonna do the rotation for this cycle. So when they rotated, the different flag will be applied in the background. So when they're coming back in, they're gonna have already different flags displayed. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure you complete this data structure by yourself. And thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next episode.